I'm going to be showing you how to build the header part of your Pretty Dash website. Now the header is just this section right up here, and you can use this across all of the pages of your website. So it's not something that you can be used on your funnels, it's more just for your main website. So we will create a header today that looks similar to this, and I will show you all the little features that you can do with your header, and I'll even show you how you could use different headers for each of your pages instead of having the same one across all the pages. So let's get started. So like I said, you can create different headers for each of your pages. So we're going to actually just do that today instead of using this same header. I want to show you how to create a header. So I'll just create a new one for a separate page, but just know that the way that you create this is exactly the same as you create your main header that goes across each of the pages. We're just going to use a different header for example purposes. So we'll go ahead and go here and create a new page. That way I don't mess with my existing Pretty Dash pages. We'll create an empty page, and then down here, you're gonna click this little button after you've entered the name of your page. We're gonna click this button that says use the alternative header for this page. That way we can create a completely custom header for this page that won't be shown on any of the other pages. So go ahead and click add, and now we have just a basic header already here. So we're going to just work through this a little bit, and we'll start with the settings. So go ahead and click the little gear icon here, and there's a few things you can do here. So on default, it's going to be the on top header normal size. So the header goes at the top, and then the rest of the stuff on the page goes below that. You can also have a full width header that just kind of spaces out things a little more. You can also click on top compact, which just kind of moves it way more compact and more of like a boxed layout. Then you can also do a vertical header if you wanted to do something like that looks like this, and you could use this on, you know, course pages or membership pages and things like that. And then last but not least, you can have it on the right as well, but we'll just keep it on top, normal, just typical layout for now. So we'll go back to the settings here. You can change the background color to whatever you want. So you could change it to an orange or a green or a blue or whatever color you want, or you could leave it transparent so that way you can have a picture underneath it, which I'll show you in just a second. You can also add a bottom border to it, change the border color to whatever you want, and have a bottom border. And then here, this button, place header on top of content. That's what I was talking about just a second ago, having a picture underneath your header. So if we were to click that, and then we go here to our block, and we were to add a photo there. So let's just add a photo from our list here. And then we make this part of the header color transparent. Now we have this picture underneath the header. I'm sure you guys have seen something like this before, and you probably might want to do this as well. You might want to get rid of this little border here if you're going to do that, just so you can, let's refresh this. So now the border's gone. So now it looks nice and clean, and we can move on. So to continue with the header settings, there's one more setting here. So you could have your header be fixed when you scroll, which just means that it stays at the top as you scroll down the page. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead and click that setting. Okay, so now that we've got all the settings set up and we think it looks pretty cute, let's go ahead and add all of the different widgets that we want on our header. So AKA, you know, a menu, a logo, and other things. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. So to add widgets to your actual header, you're just going to hover over the header, and you're going to see several of these little plus sign icons. This is where you can put your widgets. So a lot of the times people will put their logo in the middle or on the left side here. We're actually just going to leave it on the left side here. If you wanted to move this over a little bit, you can always use the little arrows and move which way you want. If you wanted this logo a little more on the left here, you would choose the full width. So now this is kind of typically what it would look like. So we'll go ahead and save that. And then sometimes I like to put the menu in the middle. So we'll go ahead and add a menu in the middle here. And we'll add a few menu items just to have it populate something here. We'll do pricing, and we'll do one more. So we'll have our collabs section here. So now you can go ahead and edit this menu. So we'll click the little styling icon here. We'll change the text color so that way you can see it a little bit better with this picture underneath. And you can always add an overlay color to the picture so that way it makes it a little more transparent and you can kind of see the text better. I typically don't like dividers between my menu items, but that's just a personal preference. You can alternatively also add a background color to your menu so that you could look something like that where you can see the writing a little better. You can change the text of the actual items here, and you can change the font size to make them a little bit bigger. So now we have a nice looking menu going so far. You can also choose to make these all uppercase, and you can use any of these other settings to make the, the hover color different. You can have a sub menu, which just means when you hover over this, if there's other menu items in this section, they will pop down below. So you can change the colors of that as well, just the background color and things like that. You can also make your menu vertical if you wanted to, or you could just make it a little burger icon, which automatically on mobile it's automatically going to be a burger. That's just how that goes. So since we put the menu in the middle now, and I actually like it way better, we're just going to delete this menu here and we're going to add a different thing here. So usually I like to have a button here, especially if you're a service provider or a beauty coach or something. You could have your book button here. So we'll just add a button from the list of widgets that we can put here. And sometimes people don't put buttons here and they'll just put social icons. You can do whatever you want. You can put whatever widget you want wherever you want. So we'll just put a little book now button here. We don't need to add a link or anything like that right now, but we'll style this text a little bit and make it look a little more cute. So now we have a nice little book now button there, and I think it looks good. So a few other things you can do other than just adding widgets on this, you can actually add a top header and a bottom header on top of this. So let's just say you want a little announcement area. So now we have this top header and you have the settings for that as well. So we could add a background color for that and make it look nice and cohesive. So again, on this top header, you also have the option to add widgets. So typically on a website, you would have this announcement bar at the top, which you could put, join my upcoming course and put a little link after that, or you could even put another button there or whatever you want. Sometimes people will put a little social icon here up here just to direct them to their socials, so you could do that. And you can also add a bottom border to this announcement, which actually looks really nice. And if you wanted to add another header row below, you could do that as well and put other things down here. It's really just because the reason you would want these kinds of things is just because when people land on your page, the header is like the first thing they see. So the more information you have there about what you do and who you are and what you offer is actually better, because then it gets their attention right away and they're like, ooh, I'll just click book instead of having to scroll through your whole page. Or you can just make it for aesthetic purposes. Some people like to be a little more creative with their websites and have different options and different widgets and things like that everywhere. So we'll save that. And now if you look at your website, and since I chose for this to be an alternative header for just this page, this is the header for this page. But if you were to go to the main website, it would be my normal header, but it's built exactly the same way. So if you were to build this as your main header, this is what it would look like on every single page, unless you chose alternative headers for different pages. I personally think this looks really cute. I would probably, edit it a little bit more. I just wanted to show you quickly for this tutorial. But I really actually like this, and I might actually change this to how Pretty Dash's header looks after a few tweaks, because I think it's really cute. But that's it for headers. That's really all you need to know for that. And, you can have the same header across all of your pages, or you can change the header for each of your pages. And like I said, on funnels, you could create this with, you don't get the same header settings and all of that you would on your main website, but for your funnels you could easily just create a block and put in 3 columns or 4 columns and have the different things in there, and you could jerry rig it to make it how you want it. The only thing is you just don't have these header settings on your funnel. So you would have to make a header for each of your funnel pages if you wanted to do that. But typically funnels don't really have a normal header like this. They're more just a focused website for a goal. So you don't need all of the menu and all these buttons. Like, you really just want people to go do one thing in your funnel. So you shouldn't really worry too much about a header on your funnels. So I hope this helped you guys. I can't wait to see what headers you create. As always, you can reach out to me at hello@prettydash.co or at prettydashboard on Instagram if you have any questions at all or you need help at all. And there's always going to be tutorials updated on this YouTube, so you can always come back here. And if you need extra help, there is help throughout the website, and we'll have more information and more videos that you can consume. If you don't have a Pretty Dashboard website, you are able to start your website for free for 14 days. You can use all of the features that Pretty Dashboard offers, and you can build out your site. And when you're ready to make it live, you can start your subscription. You do not have to put in a credit card to start your 14-day trial, just your name and email, and you can get going and get building and see how it works and build out your dream site. And when you're ready, you can make it live and start a subscription. All right, pretty builders, until next time.